I gather the point of order. The question's certainly been adequately addressed. Further supplementaries? Question number 4, David Shearer.
Speaker, the Prime Minister, has he received any information that shows foreign intelligence agencies are routinely collecting emails, other communication or location data on New Zealand citizens and residents while they are in New Zealand? And if so, has the resulting information been passed on to the Government's Communications Security Bureau?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, no.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Do New Zealand intelligence agencies use or have access to the PRISM system developed by the US National Security Agency?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't believe it's in the public interest to go into the operational programs used by GCSB or SIS, but what I can say is that I've sought an assurance from GCSB that they are acting in accordance with the New Zealand law and they do not ask government agencies in other countries to circumvent that law.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Will he give New Zealanders an assurance that information collected on them by non-New Zealand intelligence agencies has not and is not being used by New Zealand authorities without them having the legal authority to do so?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I can assure the House that we do not use our partners to circumvent New Zealand laws. We don't ask them to do that. I can't speak for other international agencies. I simply don't know what they do. But I know that from our perspective and from GCSB's perspective, we don't use foreign partners to circumvent the law.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Why is he passing through legislation extending the powers of GCSB without the opportunity for a thorough examination of the technological changes in cybersecurity that would be covered by an independent, wide-ranging inquiry?
Right Honourable Prime
Mr.
Minister.
Speaker, well, firstly, it's quite clear that the law needs to be clarified. That's as a result of the Kittredge report and the inquiry or the work done by Justice Naser. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, without clarifying the law, the assistance work provided by GCSB to other agencies actually can't continue. Thirdly, in my view, there was an extremely thorough piece of work done by Rebecca Kittredge, and so we have a good understanding of what's taken place there. But I do find myself in a bizarre situation now, answering a question from a man who wants to protect privacy, when last time he was wanting me to...
Is that a point of order? Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Speaker, why is he refusing to conduct an independent inquiry into New Zealand's intelligence and security agencies when the public has lost confidence in our intelligence agencies at a time when serious concerns are being raised about whether the privacy of New Zealanders has been breached?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't believe for a moment that actually the public's lost confidence in New Zealand's intelligence agencies. I think that's quite clear that there was a mistake made by GCSB when it came to using its foreign intelligence powers about Mr. Kim.com. But actually, beyond that, what the Kittredge report highlighted was a significant amount of work that needs to be undertaken. It was an extremely thorough review. The director of GCSB is actually undertaking that inquiry. Well, actually, I know for a fact that Mr. Shearer doesn't think it's narrow. He's looking for a different reason to not vote for it.
Supplementary question, Stephen Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Prime Minister, has the GCSB ever made requests to the United States which have resulted in intelligence being gathered and provided using the PRISM system? And did the GCSB seek approval from you or other ministers before doing so?
Order. Don't bring the Speaker into the debate.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not going to go into the operational matters or techniques used by GCSB, but what I can give people an absolute assurance is that we don't ask foreign intelligence agencies to act in any way that circumvents the law. Any assistance that may have been provided by other agencies will be because that is both lawful. That means signed off by both me as the Minister and by the Inspector or Commissioner of Security Warrants, but also, importantly, is in the national interest for us to do so.
Supplementary question, Stephen Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the basis of that, was PRISM data used in the cases identified in the Kitteridge report where metadata or other intelligence was collected illegally on 88 New Zealanders?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, as I said, I'm not in a position, firstly, to go into the techniques that are deployed by GCSB. I don't think any Prime Minister has done that. But secondly, I would challenge the member to go away and read the report from Justice Naser. Actually, it didn't find that the 88 cases were illegal.
Supplementary question, Stephen Browning.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Under the government's proposed law changes, when the GCSB spies on New Zealanders, can that include them requesting surveillance by the US National Security Agency and thus potentially the PRISM system?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I think I've actually answered that question, but for clarity reasons, let me give it to the member again. I've sought assurances from GCSB that they act in accordance with New Zealand law and do not ask government agencies in another country to circumvent the laws. There would be no reason to do that if the person was in New Zealand and there was a legal warranted, let me finish the question, legal warranted activity to be conducted.
Supplementary question.
No, it's a point of order. The question wasn't really answered because I said, can that include them requesting surveillance by the US National Security Agency and thus potentially the PRISM system? That wasn't answered.
Order. I think on this occasion the Prime Minister has very adequately addressed the question. Question number 5, Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Education, what recent announcements has